Our lead story is about a new development between already sour Beijing-Tokyo ties. Japan is on high alert tonight after its Air Force scrambled fighter jets to track a large-scale joint patrol by Russian and Chinese military aircraft around its territory. Japan's self-defense forces released new images on December 9, showcasing multiple bombers and fighters flying close to Japanese airspace. According to Japan's defense ministry, two Russian Tu-95 nuclear-capable bombers flew from the Sea of Japan towards the East China Sea, where they joined two Chinese H-6 jets. The combined formation carried out what Moscow called a long-distance joint flight across the Pacific. The patrol lasted nearly 8 hours, as they flew around Japan's Okinawa and Miyako Islands. For context, the Miyako Strait is a disputed international waterway, frequently used by Chinese naval and air assets. Japan's defense minister warns that the joint patrol was clearly intended as a show of force against their nation, calling it a serious security threat. The latest patrols follow a string of recent incidents. Last week, Tokyo claimed that the Chinese carrier-launched jets locked fire control radar on its F-15s near the Miyako Strait. Beijing strongly denied these claims, accusing Japan of harassing its aircraft during routine exercises.
Anyone with clear eyes can see that Japan is deliberately spreading and hyping false information in the military and security field at this time and stirring up tensions with ulterior motives. We strongly urge Japan to immediately stop dangerous actions that disturb China's normal training activities and stop all irresponsible false hype and political manipulation.
Beijing says Japanese fighter jets repeatedly approached and interfered with the Chinese Navy while it was carrying out what it describes as pre-announced carrier-based flight training east of the Miyako Strait. China claimed the drills were routine, legitimate, and conducted in accordance with international practice. In response, Japanese defense minister said China's version of events is inaccurate and misleading, stressing that Japan's F-15 fighters did not aim radar at any Chinese aircraft and that the self-defense forces were responding to what Tokyo considers an airspace violation.
On Saturday, December 6th, when the radar lock-on incident occurred, a Chinese naval vessel notified a Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force destroyer that it would commence flight training, and that notification was received. However, the self-defense forces received no specific information regarding the scale or airspace in which the Liaoning's carrier-based aircraft would conduct training. Furthermore, there was no NOTAM indicating the time, location, or latitude-longitude of the training, nor were any navigation warnings issued to vessels in advance. Consequently, there was insufficient information to avoid danger.
Tensions have been rising ever since Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi suggested that Tokyo could respond militarily if a Chinese operation against Taiwan threatened Japan's security. China lodged strong protests and issued economic and diplomatic warnings. Both China and Russia have expanded their defense partnership in recent years, conducting anti-missile drills, naval exercises in the South China Sea, and multiple joint air patrols around East Asia. Meanwhile, South Korea has reported similar activity. Its military said 7 Russian and 2 Chinese aircrafts entered the Korean Air Defense Identification Zone without prior notification. Though the aircraft did not violate South Korean airspace, they remained in the Korean Air Defense Identification Zone for about an hour before departing. South Korea claims Chinese and Russian military planes have entered the Korean Air Defense Identification Zone several times in the past 4 years without notice. And as Japan and China trade accusations over radar lock-ons and airspace harassment, Russia's growing military presence looms in the background, signaling a rapidly shifting security landscape in East Asia.